Okay, so this is just going to be a recap of majority of the upper respiratory system. So we're just going to start with the way air comes in. So air enters through the nasal, or through the nostrils, and the first place it comes into contact with is the nasal vestibule. This is where hair is in your nose. It's the only place that hair grows in your nose. This upper bit here is called the sinus, or the nasal cavity. And up in the sinus there is no hair, there's only mucus up here. And then the upper part above the uvula and up in this sinus/nasal cavity, this is called the nasopharynx. And that's that upper region, nasopharynx. And then the middle region, it's your mouth, so this is to orient yourself, this is the tongue. And the middle part is called the oropharynx, think oral. And then the laryngopharynx is down here. And you have this flap and this flap is called the epiglottis. And so the epiglottis is when you swallow, it decides what tube it goes down. The front tube is always your trachea, which leads to the lungs. And then the back tube, the back tube goes to the subject. This is the esophagus. And so the epiglottis will literally flap. Kind of, if my finger were, it would flap shut to let the flow come down and through. Down there. Instead of air. And so right here, you have your vocal cords. And that's where they sit. So when the air comes up and through, they vibrate. And this vibration is what gives you your voice. And also a tip with the uvula, this part right here, is this piece right here. The uvula, when you vomit, it shuts off this cavity, so that way none of that acidic stuff, it just goes up and out. It doesn't come up and then into this area, because that's bad. And then, just so air comes in through the nose, it gets warmed and moistened and kind of cleaned by the sinus. When it comes down here, the epiglottis should be open, and it'll move down the trachea, and then down the trachea, it'll come into the bronchus, the left and right bronchus, and to the lungs. Just some basic lung stuff, I'll get more in depth. There's 3 lobes on the left, 2 lobes on the right. Your heart sits here, and then so it goes trachea, bronchus, bronchioles, and then alveoli, the little alveoli sacs, and that's where the capillaries really do the gas exchange, and I'll cover that more later. Thank you.